Okay, so we've seen the basics of line angle notation. Let's hit some rules. Nobody likes rules, but the fact is this is a method of communication. And just as languages have rules, syntactical rules, line angle notation also has rules. And if you don't follow the rules, no one's going to understand what you're trying to say in your structure. So, rule number 1 is that carbon atoms are at the end of lines and vertices. Where there's a bend in that molecule, there's our propane again. There's a carbon, there's a carbon, there's a carbon. The second rule, and we've seen this one as well. Carbon atoms have enough hydrogens to fill their octet. So that means the octet of the carbon atoms. So if atoms are missing, this carbon is only shown with one other bond. That's to another carbon. You must have 3 other hydrogens in there. So that's actually a CH3 group dangling off the end of that molecule. Okay, rule number 3. Aside from carbon atoms and hydrogens on carbons, all other atoms must be shown. Okay, that's important. We're going to have a lot of different atoms in our structures. Our organic molecules are not going to just be made of carbon atoms. They're going to have oxygens, nitrogens, hydrogens dangling off other atoms. The only hydrogens that are understood are the ones off carbon. If you have a hydrogen on an oxygen, you must explicitly show that hydrogen. And number 4, formal charges must be shown. In other words, if an atom has a plus or a negative charge, must be shown and circled. Our structures are going to have a lot of stray lines in them sometimes, and you want to make sure that something is clearly a charge, and the way you do that is to circle it. For example, many of you have probably seen chemists write sodium hydroxide out. Sodium has a positive charge. You give it a plus and you circle it. Oxygen has a negative charge, you circle that. So this idea of circling charges carries over into line angle structures. Now shortly we'll see some examples of these, but these are the basic rules that we'll follow. There aren't many rules, but you need to make sure you follow them so that your structures are clear and communicate exactly what you're trying to, the information you're trying to impart with your structure.